Hey guys, DeuceCat5201 here for another episode of Tank Review. And today we will be taking a look at the Tiger, what's the full name? I think it's the Panzer 6 Tiger 1, I think is the full name of this thing. But yeah, gonna be taking a look at the Tiger today, and, yeah. So, started off with my impressions. When I first started playing this tank, I thought, it's not too bad, but it's not the greatest. Tier 7 heavy, I much prefer my IS, but I don't know. I mean, that's how I felt, at least at the beginning. Now, I think this tank is probably around the same as my IS, and I love my IS, so that's saying something. And yeah, it's one of the tanks that I can do well in pretty much any kind of match. IS can have trouble due to its low penetration. Some stuff about this tank that are unique is that it has very high hit points for being a tier 7 heavy tank. Heavy tanks usually do have a lot of hit points, but this is the most out of all tier 7 heavy tanks, I believe. Its gun is very good with no, I want to see this. With 203 average penetration and 240 average damage, but that's the damage isn't super great, but it can shoot very quickly. 8.96. I have a rammer and vents on this thing with 100% crew. I have a 5.65 reload time. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Especially for a heavy tank with that kind of a gun. That is extremely good. And if you saw my Tiger 1 video, I'll probably put a link to put a link in the description for that, because it shows off this gun remarkably well, even in a really bad circumstance. So I suggest taking a look at that. Well, I think if we're really gonna keep doing this, I think we need to go head on into Tank Inspector. Okay, so here we are in Tank Inspector, looking at the Tiger 1 tank, and this is, the armor is where this tank kind of falls short. Historically, this tank with its armor values is completely historically accurate, being 100 millimeters at the front. Unfortunately, that means that this thing is very, very under-armored for a tier 7 heavy tank. Most heavy tanks, like, let's just take the IS for example. The IS's top gun has 175 penetration. This armor is no threat. If you're going on in a head-on fight, no threat. This armor is like butter to your gun, which, in all honesty, isn't very good in terms of penetration. But there are ways to work around the bad armor. The way I have done it, and like most people will, is by angling effectively to make your armor very strong in some areas. I usually want to probably place it around this angle, trying to have a pretty good angle. It's debatable on where you should have your tank placed, though one thing that this tank excels greatly on is side scraping. So let's just say that you have a wall here, and, well, actually, you probably don't want to side scrape like that. Whoa. Probably not like that either. Yeah, let's go like that. And when okay, I think that's probably good. This is probably your best side scraping angle here. There is some portions of the armor where it is kind of but this will get you a pretty effective angle in terms of thickness in your armor. They will the only part that's really weak is right here and right here, though this is a pretty tough target to hit. And well, this is also pretty small if you do it right. But with 122 millimeter AP rounds, also known as the caliber that the IS fires, this area from here to back there is an automatic ricochet. There is this part of the tank which, well, to be honest, you're not gonna be able to hit that with the IS's gun. Just saying. There are some weak spots and stuff. The Cupola is surprisingly well armored with 80 millimeters. Turret, once again, is not very well armored. Even though right here, you have 150 millimeters, but then again, IS has 175 millimeters penetration. Basically, side scraping is your best option for increasing the armor of this tank. And the armor is pretty much the worst thing about this thing. The gun is extremely accurate with good reload time, good penetration, pretty good damage. And the speed is, it's a German heavy. It's not going to be great or anything, but yeah, let's look at it compared to other heavy tanks. Okay, so firepower, it is pretty much above average in most categories. A bit low in damage, but damage per minute is higher than normal, and that makes up for having low damage, because if you can pump out shot after shot, then you can really rack up the damage. I mean, 2,241 damage in a minute, that's pretty insane. Module damage, who cares? Caliber, once again, it's not like that really makes a big difference. It's pretty good on shooting on the move, surprisingly. Then again, it is pretty slow, so, and the gun is already pretty accurate. The elevation and depression are below average because it's a German tank. That's kind of their thing. The only ones that are worse than them are probably the Russians and the Chinese. All the other stuff is whatever. Mobility, German tank, it's not super fast. Survivability, because of its increased health, it does have better survivability than other heavy tanks. It doesn't have super great armor, though. Surprisingly, it does have pretty good side armor in terms... Actually, that's only 0.2 more than the average, so, yeah. Miscellaneous, that doesn't really matter. Economy, once again, that's not really super important. Scout ability, why does that matter in a heavy tank? Answer is, it doesn't. You're in a heavy tank, not a scout. The only heavy tank that you, well, that's kind of funny that I say that. I got that, what was it? What medal did I get? I was in another Tiger episode where I got a medal for doing assistance by spotting in this thing. But yeah. So I think I've gone over quite a bit about this thing. It's an all-around pretty good heavy tank in terms of the standards at tier 7. The good points about it are the gun with its amazing penetration and high accuracy, along with good rate of fire, and actually that's pretty much it. The gun is this vehicle. The armor, in a tier 7 match, you can use this armor extremely effectively without even having to side scrape. In tier 8 matches, you can still get by. You might have to do some side scrape. Well, actually, you will need to be able to get by with bouncing some shots. Tier 9, even with side scraping, sometimes you will get penetrated, mostly through your turret, since that is pretty weak. And yeah, the speed, it's a German. German heavy tanks are not very fast. So yeah, I honestly love this thing, and I'm sure I'm gonna love the Tiger 2, especially since Tiger 2 gets much better armor. I highly recommend this tank, and if you're going down the German heavy line, well, actually, if you're going down the other German heavy line, then you won't see this thing. But I would definitely look forward to this thing. It is very good. Actually, let's compare it. Uh, uh, oops. Okay, I guess for some reason it's not letting me. Whatever. I was gonna compare it to the Tiger P, but whatever. I'm at the end of this review anyways. I love this thing, and, yeah. Um, I guess that's pretty much it for this review. I hope you guys have all enjoyed. I hope you guys have learned some things, and yeah. Once again, sorry about not being able to. I'm not going to be able to record a whole lot. I'm having to do some other stuff right now, so my videos will be even more sparse than they usually are. I'm really sorry that I'm so lazy, but that's just me. Anyways, I hope you guys have all enjoyed. Check out my Tiger video, and you will be able to see this gun in action. And yeah, hope you guys have all enjoyed. This has been DeuceCat5201 signing out.